5 Filipino soldiers against 40 Viet Congs, the Filipino road repair team who fought off a Viet Cong unit. Imagine this: 5 men, 5 Filipino engineer soldiers, road builders, standing under a scorching Vietnamese sun, surrounded by dense jungle. Their mission: to repair and build roads for civilians, not to fight. But on a small dusty trail, they suddenly realize they are not alone. Across the clearing, dozens, no 40 Viet Cong emerge from the undergrowth. There is no squad, no heavy weapons, just hammers, shovels, and sheer resolve. You hit play now because you suspect this story is lost, because you think you've heard it all. But what I'm about to show you will shatter everything you know about non-combat engineers in war. Because sometimes the most heroic acts are not in the firefights, but on lonely roads, under threat, where ordinary men choose to fight to protect lives. If you stay with me, you will see how these 5 Filipinos defied odds, stood firm, and made history. Welcome to this video: 5 Filipino soldiers against 40 Viet Congs, the Filipino road repair team who fought off a Viet Cong unit. It's a story of courage, loyalty, and unexpected heroism deep in the jungles of Vietnam. If you appreciate deep, undertold war stories, please like, share, and hit subscribe right now. Let's honor the men history nearly forgot. Chapter 1: Setting the Stage. Vietcong in Vietnam. In 1966, the government of the Philippines dispatched a civic action contingent known as Vietcong V to South Vietnam. Their official mission: to build roads, bridges, schools, provide medical and dental aid, help villages ravaged by war, win hearts and minds. At its peak, Vietcong V had over 2,000 personnel, engineers, medics, support staff, stationed mainly in Tay Ninh province. Their motto echoed their purpose: to build, not to destroy, bring happiness, not sorrow. In those early months, the first teams arrived to survey land, establish base camps, and begin civic work, building infrastructure, helping refugees, building roads and bridges through terrain once controlled by guerrilla forces. Medical teams treated thousands each week. At one point, Vietcong's medical and dental clinics treated about 2,000 patients per week during their first 7 weeks of operation. They refurbished former war-torn hamlets, turned jungle clearings into farmland, built wells, cleared forest for farms, and rebuilt roads meant to give civilians safe passage. This was no frontline infantry battalion. These were builders, helpers, aid providers. But in the unforgiving crucible of Vietnam in the 1960s, sometimes helping meant holding your ground against billets, mines, and ambushes. As one Filipino engineer later reflected in his diary, they knew danger was always ahead, yet they worked not for glory, but for people, building roads, repairing lives. So far, their story seems peaceful, humanitarian, benevolent. But history rarely stays calm for long. Chapter 2: The Ambush on Filipino Soldier Engineers, when builders became fighters. It was on a humid December evening, under a canopy of dense forest near the Tang Diem resettlement zone, formerly a Viet Cong-held jungle, now ground zero for reconstruction. The men working the roads weren't infantry, they were engineers, rescuers, builders. But that night their shovels and picks turned into weapons of survival. At the heart of these events was the Philippine Civic Action Group Vietnam, the team sent by the Philippine government in 1966 to rebuild South Vietnam's communities and infrastructure. Officially, their mission: build roads, bridges, wells, treat villagers, bring peace. Vietcong V at peak numbered over 2,000 soldiers, engineers, medics, support staff, stationed mainly in Tay Ninh province. Their motto echoed their purpose: to build, not to destroy, bring happiness, not sorrow. But on 1 December 1966, as they began clearing the forested Tung Diem area under the codename Task Force Bayanihan, the team found themselves under fire. The project required clearing jungle land, removing mines and booby traps, building new roads and refugee settlements, tasks vital to the wartime civic action plan. On one more occasion,
Vietnamese insurgents, entrenched in the thick forest, struck with mortar fire, sniper attacks, and ambushes. One source records that during the first 6 months of the operation, Vietcong V was hit by harassing fire 8 times. 2 soldiers were killed and 10 wounded. Heavy equipment, including bulldozers and an APC, was damaged. Imagine the shock. Men whose daily tasks were measurement, sawing wood, pouring concrete, suddenly tasked with defending their lives. The jungle that they hoped to tame with roads and bridges turned into a battlefield. But these engineers didn't flee. Instead, they dug in. Defensive perimeters were hastily established. Convoys guarded by Filipino security troops armed with rifles escorted the construction teams. Each night, under the watchful stars, the men alternated between pushing dirt and scanning the shadows for enemy movement. One veteran later wrote in his diary, "We didn't sign up to kill, but when bullets came, we fought, for the villagers, for each other." Their resolve turned a humanitarian mission into a fight for survival. If you believe wartime heroism only belongs in frontline firefights, this story will change your mind. These weren't frontline soldiers, they were road builders thrust into war, and they survived. If you're getting chills from this true story, hit like, leave a comment and subscribe now so we can honor more unsung heroes together.
Chapter 3: Firefights and Redemption. When builders were forced to fight. The date was November 3, 1966, a day that would rewrite the mission of Philippine Civic Action Group Vietnam, known as Vietcong V, from builders to survivors. That day, as part of the larger Operation Attleboro, a major search and destroy sweep led by U.S. and Allied forces, Vietcong found itself caught when insurgents struck unexpectedly around their base at Tay Ninh province. Up to then, Vietcong's mission had been clear: build roads, bridges, wells, schools, provide medicine, restore hope to war-torn hamlets. Their motto? To build, not to destroy. Bring happiness, not sorrow. Develop goodwill, not hatred. But war doesn't honor mottos. When the first volley of gunfire cracked through the jungle night, everything changed. The engineers, the medics, the cooks, they scrambled for cover. Bulldozers and earth movers were no longer tools of progress. They became barricades. A security battalion attached to Vietcong hastily formed defensive lines. Mortars, small arms fire, and guerrilla tactics turned a construction camp into a war zone. The firefight lasted hours. Among the survivors was a young corporal whose journal later described the horror. "I heard the crack of the first shot, then chaos. The jungle lit up. Our men dropped to earth. We defended ourselves with rifles borrowed from the security detail, backs against sandbag walls, hearts pounding." Vietcong suffered casualties. 9 Filipinos would lose their lives in Vietnam, dozens more wounded. But beyond numbers, something changed. The men who signed up to build roads became unwilling soldiers. Their mission of hope lasted, but now it was enforced under threat. Yet from this cruelty emerged a kind of quiet heroism. Under fire, they held their ground. They protected their comrades. They kept the wounded alive. They guarded civilians seeking refuge. And after the guns fell silent, they rebuilt what had been destroyed: roads, shelters, wells, restoring hope where bullets tried to steal it. This clash challenged everything Vietcong stood for. It tested their resolve, their humanity, but it also revealed their strength. Builders, medics, engineers thrust into war, yet they acted, they protected, they survived, and they carried on. If you believe courage only comes from elite battalions or frontline infantry, think again. These were ordinary men with extraordinary guts. If this story moved you so far, hit like, comment what you think a civilian engineer's fate meant in Vietnam, and subscribe to honor those unsung. because there are more stories like this waiting to be told. Chapter 4: Survival, Legacy, and the Forgotten Heroes. When the smoke cleared and the jungle fell silent, the men of Philippine Civic Action Group Vietnam, PhilCAG-V, didn't pack up and leave. They rebuilt. The same hands that laid down gravel, poured concrete, and cleared forest now lifted the wounded, reinforced camps, and laid roads anew. What began as a humanitarian mission mutated into one of survival, and from survival, courage. By the time PhilCAG-V was formally withdrawn in December 1969, at its height, the unit had reached over 2,000 men deployed in the jungles of South Vietnam. During their time there, they constructed more than 116 kilometers of roads, 11 bridges, 169 buildings, dozens of culverts and refugee centers, literally rebuilding war-torn communities. Their medical teams treated thousands of civilians every week, distributing aid, food, water, and hope. And yet, the cost was real. Over the years of deployment, 9 Filipino servicemen lost their lives, and more than 60 were wounded. The casualties may seem small compared to major combat units, but for a civic action team whose mission was to build, not to destroy, it marked a painful and enduring sacrifice. Today, much of that legacy is forgotten. Few in the Philippines know how PhilCAG-V helped reopen roads that allowed civilians to flee conflict or return to their homes. Few remember the medics who treated the sick deep in the jungle, or the engineers who rebuilt bridges under mortar fire. And even fewer appreciate that sometimes wartime heroism is not just in grand battles, it's in the silent persistence of men who hold a road open so others can walk. If you value these lost stories, hit like now, drop a comment with the name of a veteran you want to honor, and subscribe so we can continue bringing these unknown chapters to light. Because history is more than the big headlines. It's the grit of unsung men who refuse to let war erase humanity. It's the rebuilding after destruction. It's roads, bridges, hospitals, hope forged under fire. The story of PhilCAG-V reminds us this: war doesn't always come dressed in camouflage and rifles. Sometimes it comes disguised in shovels and blueprints. And sometimes the bravest stand is built not with guns, but with hands that build roads, with hearts that heal communities, and with souls that refuse to abandon humanity. If you walked away with new respect for those Filipino soldier, engineers, medics, and civilians who risked everything, share this video. Tell their story. Pass it forward. Because their sacrifice deserves more than a footnote in history books. It deserves our acknowledgement, our memory, our gratitude. Thank you for watching. Until next time, when we dig deeper into another untold story of courage, survival, and humanity at war. Thank you so much also for subscribing, liking, and commenting on our video. God bless us all.